along with a little bit of extra tanks coming out with that Vanguard. So I guess the next big item is going to be the Manta on Paparazzi. And what else do you kind of expect coming out of either side?
Just the standard items pretty much. So we will see a Manta and a BKB. And oh, there's a smoke happening right behind the Luna. Knowing that the road fight is happening.
Well, there we are, coming in. There will be the stealing into the Eclipse. Mikasa trying to reduce a little bit of that damage, but she picks up the invisibility rune, allowing her free movement as everyone starts to scramble. The Sanity's Eclipse, Mikasa trying to run for his life. There is going to be the buyback from the Slaughter. He's going to teleport himself in. Mikasa, they're going to try, and it's such a big deal. Here we go. FY keeping him alive, but is going to get dunked through, and now Yang going to be the next victim potentially as he tries to run himself away, but this Morphling losing all of his intelligence. There's the Hurricane Pike. Will he get away? FY is doing such a great job of trying to keep him alive. Yang, 1 hit, 2 hits. Paparazzi will go down. And now we have Yang running for his life. Is there a stun? No, he will be taunted. Astral imprisonment out. Is going to be lifted. Cicada. Dogfight.
Getting the fight.
And there's the Hurricane Pike again. Dogfight will die to the Fable. There's the defensive Astral Imprisonment. Turning this around. And Cicada trying to do his best, but will be...
Even Axe being in trouble, but getting away finally.
Yeah, he'll get away as well.
The thing is, if Morphling would have died there, it would have looked completely different. However, he did manage to keep alive with help from FY healing him.
Yeah, overall, certainly worth it for Vici Gaming as they net themselves 1,000 gold, 5,000 XP, even with that buyback incorporated into it.
Yeah, they will successfully get the Aegis, which at first did not look like a good idea, after all. Also very interesting to see that he actually gets Pike first on Morphling, instead of anything of the usual ones. But yeah, of course, Lincoln's would not have been as useful against a Ricky, OD, Luna.
Yeah, I will say though that the Pike really worked out in that team fight. I think he actually ended up being able to get it off twice during that engagement.
Yeah, maybe even a third time, not on a hero but himself alone. He just keeps farming on and on.
Yeah, he's actually still right on the tail of Luna, like toe-to-toe. DK a little bit ahead of the OD. But I think certainly it looked like it was, you know, it was looking like it might have been GG for IGO. Dogfight's ready in position, and there's the taunt into a kill. Death War, they're going to dedicate everything to pop that Aegis and then quickly disengage.
Morphling definitely is the hero to kill in this game. Unlike on the IG side where killing the OD or the Luna is not as big of a thing. Individually speaking, at least. BKB up on that DK as well. And the Morphing Illusion being killed slowly by the orbs.
How do you feel about Mikasa's choice of getting the BKB? Does that just allow him to fight when the Eclipse is being done, but it doesn't really stop the damage coming out of the Death Ward?
Yes, but it reduces so much damage from the OD that it's worth it, because other than the OD damage...
Oh, here we go into a taunt. 2 going to be going down, trying to get the junk, but the relocate, well done. Paparazzi actually ends up falling after using that Eclipse, and now in July might be the next victim on the table. Koryu does end up going down. Actually, it is going to be the Ricky.
Yeah, that again was a situation that went very fast, very bad. The thing is that, other than the OD, Dragon Knight doesn't take much damage. He doesn't take damage from the Death Ward, or the Ricky, or the Axe. The Axe a little bit actually, since it's pure damage now, or the Luna. So, once he counters the Luna ult and the orb damage, he is pretty much immortal. And he doesn't need to deal any damage, because Morphling can deal that all by himself with a little bit of help from the Sada ult.
Yeah, that is actually very true. The physical damage from the Death Ward, yeah, pretty much I guess doesn't really affect the Dragon Knight, just on the basis that he has like 28 armor. So, you can like mitigate a lot of that. And actually, I guess as long as he's like close to DDC as well, you actually are just increasing like the magic resist, because he does have like that 1 level null field, but now that there's nothing really else to skill up, you're going to see that just continuing to go forward. Another thing I'd like to mention is with Rubik at level 10, you can get that plus 60 gold per minute, which I feel like is really working out for him as he's just been able to continue buying the wards. And I think he's just getting like closer and closer to maybe potentially a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, it's not that much, like 60 gold per minute, but the 50 damage is actually quite a lot, but he is a support. It might make Rubik mids happen again, but not in this game, however. Yeah, we just see some slow rotations happening. Luna very carefully farming at the fringes, jungling instead of going to the lane so she doesn't get picked off.
Yeah, I think both the teams are kind of like in a little bit of an awkward position where they know that it can come down.
Because that can potentially very, very fast kill the Morphling. However, usually it does not happen. And the smoke happening from Vici now.
Oh, look at this. Kind of like, you think it would normally be like kind of counterintuitive to move yourselves into this position, but IG know that Vici probably wanted to smoke out and try to get a return kill.
I was like, I think they keep pushing.
And just a lot more farming. It's one of these things, you just have to play it super safe. And that's precisely what we're seeing.
Luna still slightly ahead of the Morphling in terms of farm. However, DK surpassing Odie's farm right now. It's interesting to see that Wisp, simply by having assists and not dying and some kills, actually is ahead of all the other supports in terms of farm and nearly ahead of Slardar even.
I feel like that it comes down, like not only kill participation, but just like also just the pure skill of FY on this IO. Like he knows where he needs to be. Oh, there we go, coming in. There will be the spell steal lifting up that Luna. This no damage. Goodbye to that Luna, forcing out Ricky to try to use up his ult. Oh, ends up going down as well. Injuly taunting this Dragon Knight into a battle, but and now it's going to be Injuly, going to be that next big victim. They want to try to keep Mikasa alive, but that's not going to be the case. Yang getting a little bit low from this aggro from the tower, gets Diffusal Blade, 4 staffs in with that Slam waveform coming out, and now we have that Hurricane Pike, and that is a very dead Witch Doctor, and it's a 5-man team wipe.
Yeah, immediately the OD gets taken down to at least 20% HP by the shotgun from Morphling, and from there on over the fight is just downhill. Way more sustained on the side of VG, Vici, despite having a Witch Doctor on IG side, and the tutor will fall to this as well. I wonder what the Roche timer was, because it's going to be up soonish again, I think.
Yeah, I think the Roche should be up pretty soon. It should be mentioned actually that F1 also has the Guardian Greaves on the IO, so instantaneously you saw how low End ended up getting during that team fight, and then just like within about 20 seconds you saw him all the way back up to the full health.
Definitely.
All right, we see the
picking up a
action room.
VKB as next item as well, just so he can fight and right-click them more.
Alright, so Paparazzi going to continue pushing forward, Eclipse down for another 45 seconds, but does have that DD on the Luna. And while FY and Yang in a good position potentially maybe to go in on Paparazzi, they're just going to hold back. I don't think you should dedicate yourself to this team fight. We'll see what ends up happening. It's going to be silenced. And there's the taunt. DK being caught out just slightly into a 3-man stun. Mikasa now going to rip through, kills the Ricky, and now Paparazzi might be the next victim. But first it's going to be the Witch Doctor coming in FY with that relocate, overloading everyone. There's the disarm, and it's a double kill for Mikasa. The only one remaining is going to be that Axis. He just runs himself through that Radiant jungle, and he is not going to be able to stop this onslaught on the tier 2. What happened during that team fight? It looked like it might have actually been a bad position for VG to go in, and then they just turned it around completely.
They cuddled a bit too much, and Yang just stunned 4 people or 3 people at the same time. And Mikasa was actually very smart in not popping his BKB. It almost looked like he purposefully feigned a fake failed initiation or something like that, because he went on him. And just being able to take the team fight with the BKB after that stun by Sada.
Yeah, I will say that Yang has certainly shown his value to the team with all of these Slardar initiations. Like every single one of his blanks have pretty much always either been like perfectly timed or been hitting on 3 people. And there we go, perfect timing on that Roshan. They're going to be able to pick that up with the help of FY and Yang coming in. And at this point, what does IG have to do to get back into this game?
Well, first they don't have to lose the short, but it's already too late. They cannot defend it anymore, can they? Still trying to take the fight. Are they going to go and commit?
Oh, they are. They go this cross into the waveform. There will be the Eclipse, though. Everyone getting a little bit low, but remember, Guardian Greaves are off of cooldown. And Paparazzi going to be forced out. Sakata going to lose his life, as is the Witch Doctor. Paparazzi trying to stay away, but where's the waveform? There's the shotgun, and a couple more right clicks. Yang will end up picking off that kill.
In July also.
Oh, and yes,
behind.
in July, behind those.
I feel like that was pretty much the last rally after it did not manage to get the Roshan defended, and thus the game falls.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, that does mean that Vici do take a game off of IG, and that means that we will be going into game number 4 here in just a few moments. I have to say that was a very impressive game. And it was just like, there was so much tension the entire time.
And I think that next time they will probably ban the Wisp.
And yeah, and you know what the other thing I have to say is, like, out of like the entire team, I think Yang certainly stood out as one of the big playmakers.
I do think so, but I think basically what happened the entire game is just Wisp and Morphling being uncountered, uncontested. OD was supposed to do that, but he did not manage to do his job so well. Like, he didn't manage to drop the Wisp fast enough or the Morphling at all. A couple of times it looked like he was able to actually do that and turn around some team fights, but in the end it was not successful, however.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the next game. I feel like this could be the potential for a really intense grand finals where maybe Vici win one more and then we come down to the final game. But it is still only one more win required for IG to be able to take the grand prize, where Vici have a little bit of an uphill struggle before they can do that. So we're just going to get into the... Thank you very much. Yep. Actually, that's good if he cut me off right then.
这个体系，因为小精灵最后一手拿确实是很难去做出一个针对，又加上这个版本七系版本中，其实我觉得精灵的出场率会更加的高，所以说小精灵这个点没法处理。另外的话，还有就是这些整个的一个配合，其实更多的是。VG 战队这一场比赛中，其实更多的是一路顺到底，而不是说这种惊天大翻盘。所以说，更多的是这一次 VG 战队是慢慢去积累、去堆出来的这一场的胜利。是的。
那么现在呢，我们大比分呢是2-1，那么 IG.V 还是要领先，因为前2场的一个优势。那不知道我们接下来的这个走向会是让2追3，还是 IG.V 继续能够保持这样的一个盛世，所以我们还不得而知。那么现在呢，我们的双方战队也是需要一个调整和休息的过程，我们稍事休息，待会儿再见。
在最好的赛场上，让更多人为你欢呼。这是全部吗？不，你还拥有无限可能。重塑对极限的认知。Alienware Area 51采用英特尔酷睿 i7 处理器。
Floating keycap. Change it yourself. T-Move.
奥风，后继的电竞新品首发，专为游戏竞技定制，冠军战队专属选择，龙珠女子战队倾城代言，专业电竞显示器 iGun 爱公，顶级战场等你来战。
强者并非与生俱来，而是源自强大的内心，是充满力量的心，是专注的心。它可以把控一切，同时不失细节。这颗心让强者卓然超群，打破限制，撼动世界。要知道，磨练可以造就强者，而英特尔酷睿 i7 处理器更让强者势不可挡。
这
来看镜头，
无关身份，无关性别，无关分数高低，无关内敛还是耀眼，无关体重，无关收入多少，无关命运、选择、前途、希望。这只关系到每一次，当你准备战斗，等待最后的读秒，你是谁？
别给我说到低调，我根本听不到。想跟我讲什么战术走位，你最好先追上我。
盲狙、甩狙除了反应，还需要天赋。
感觉来了，枪枪都是黄金爆头。
节奏加距离，我用刀可以削翻全场。
在我的世界里，
做不了最好的，就做最屌的。
穿越火线，不服来战，
站在最好的赛场上，让更多人为你欢呼。这是全部吗？不，
你还拥有无限可能。
52 vs 52超大规模机甲战争，机动战士敢达 OL 最新资料片上线，不同阵容的势力对抗，带你体验有史以来最大规模国战。最强 ZZ 敢达降临，快来感受最强敢达机师的魅力和荣耀。戴尔游侠7000笔记本专为年轻群体设计。炫酷外形，性能强悍。了解更多优惠，请关注游侠7000官方微店。傲风之刃电竞外观专利，纳米级透气靠背，180度后躺，4D 扶手 ，Auto Full 傲风，电竞选手爱用的电竞椅。制胜之道，长指之间，狼派电竞装备。
T-Move
专业电竞品牌 iGO 爱公为 WCA 2016官方唯一指定显示器品牌，爱公为荣耀而战。极客极致极酷，西伯利亚专业电竞游戏耳机，带你来一场身临其境的战斗。
trying to implement like face recognition for bus fares and like that sort of thing. So it's actually a really interesting city to be in. And this tournament, of course, is being run by the municipal government, and they're aiming to try to cover every single competitive esports event. So we are going to be heading into the game in just a few moments. As we have seen in the past, we saw that IG took 2 games off of Vici, but Vici doing a great rally and have taken 1 off of IG. So that means that we are going into game number 4, where potentially Vici could tie this up, or we could see IG walk away the victors with over $350,000. So Hua, what do you feel is going to be the strategy coming into this? Are we pretty much going to see the same sort of thing? I felt like the playstyle for the last game, Vici, was a little bit different just with that IO.
I'm pretty sure that IO is going to get banned out in the first phase. IG won't let that happen again. Then the question becomes who gets Luna. And after that, maybe we'll see a Morphling ban even, since it's been a hero that has been proven to be very successful at countering Luna as a carry. Also, surprisingly, doing somewhat decent against the OD, even dropping him to like 1% before he even could do anything against the Morphling in some of the team fights.
Yeah, I have to say, I think in the perfect world, I would really like to see Luna being banned out. I don't want to see another Morphling. I think I would like to see probably like maybe the OD banned out and a Bounty Hunter banned out, but I don't know if that's actually going to end up happening. I want to see another IO game. I love FY on IO. It just makes me so excited every single time he brings it out. So that's what I want to see.
I'm going to be excited to see whether they actually will pick up something like a Pudge, or if they go for like some of the usual roaming supports that they went for before, like Shadow Demon plus Leshrac or Shadow Demon and Mirana, something like that.
Okay, actually, I take back. I don't want Bounty Hunter banned. I want Shadow Demon banned. All right, but I imagine like just with a lot of like these common picks, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, everyone was saying that like 7.0 is like completely different. It's just like everything has changed. It's like Dota 3, but I see like a lot of the same heroes coming out from 6.88, like the Luna, the Shadow Demon, that's
the OD. Yeah, I think the meta itself didn't really change. It's more that some of the heroes that were not necessarily as valid before because they couldn't gain the gold now are. But yet again, this is just right after the patch, so it might just be that the meta has not been figured out yet, and it's gonna need a couple of 100 pop games at least. And some
yeah, exactly. because as probably many of our audience members know, the patch was rolled out 2 days before the WCA started, so everyone just got off the plane and it was like the end of the world because we were casting a completely different game, the teams were playing a completely different game, and like a day before, like everyone arrives and it's like, all right, how many pub games can we get in before we have to start this tournament? And it was probably about 4 for everybody involved. So we're just waiting in on one of the teams to be coming in from IG Vitality. But so other than the IO, we see like the OD was picked up quite a bit, I think pretty successfully. I saw a couple of the team fights there where the Sandy's Eclipse actually really did do quite a bit of damage on the Morphling. But we do see, there we are, the concentrated face of our wonderful captain trying to maybe talk a little bit of strategy. So there he is inside the lobby. So we're going to be starting to get ready to go into game number 4 in just a few moments. Is there anything, Hua, that you think that you'd want to add, or is there maybe like any sort of situation you think that might arise for Vitality? Like, is this just like a lucky game that Vici took one off of Vitality, or do you think that Vitality now are like, okay, these guys are dangerous, we need to like bring everything out, all the guns are coming out for this game?
In some way, it might have actually been some kind of a lucky game, because Wisp is a hero that on which is like you can basically carry the entire game on his back, and so is Morphling. So it might just be that they won the game on the top of those 2 heroes instead of just playing better, which happened in the games before.
All right, so we'll see if Vitality are going to be entering into this banning phase with a little bit of a different mindset. If we're still going to see that, like the Bounty Hunter and Drow bans, or are we going to see, that IO first ban, respect ban, I like to call it, which would be nice. No, they're going to go for the Drow Ranger as the ban, which...
Yeah, it's one of those like heroes that they definitely don't want to face off, since Vici are very confident with some of the Drow lineups. Banning the Silencer as well, since he did some great job in that last game, winning IG the game.
But Vici banning up the Silencer, is that perhaps an indication that they want to pick up a Batrider?
It could be. IG also would pick up the Batrider if Vici does not, is a thing as well. However, we do not see a Wisp ban, so they are prepared, they want to play against Wisp and they want to act against it. The question is now, will there be a Luna first pick, or will they go for something else entirely?
Okay, they're going to go for the Slardar first pick, so that's going to leave Vitality to be able to pick up the Luna if they so wish, and another strong hero, but maybe we'll see something new, maybe we'll see something fresh. So we want to see. Please, my wonderful captain, Super, don't make me cast another game with Luna.
Well, it might very well be the case that they do not pick her, but I don't know. However, this is very much a mirror from last game. Yeah, there goes the Batrider. Next is banned, however, so we could still see that Luna.
Alright, yeah, we're going into our second pick, and it looks like we're actually, as you can see, the discussion from the team, and they are going to go for that second pick of the Ricky, which means that Vici might be able to get their hands on this, but...
They'd really like a Ricky, though.
Alright, so they're going to pick up the Witch Doctor this time, actually in the hands of Vici Gaming instead of IG Vitality, which I feel like Vitality utilized the Witch Doctor really well to try to like counter-initiate and just stop the kind of roaming coming out of Vici. And there's the IO ban coming out. So I'm wondering if FY just had almost like no intention of picking up the IO, because I felt like that would have been your second pick, or do you feel that IO can be countered by those next 3 picks?
Well, it could be. And they could also like start banning out some of the heroes that, I don't know. I think that picking the Witch Doctor over the Wisp might indicate that he did have no intention to go for the Wisp, but of course we cannot tell for certain.
Alright, so we're going into our reserve time with these next bans from Vici, and they are going to opt to get rid of the Timbersaw, which I actually feel like Timbersaw has shown a lot of potential so far in this patch. I mean, he was already strong, but I feel like he's probably an indication that maybe Vici want to pick up the Morphling.
Could be, but I don't know if they want to pick up a Morphling without countering a Luna with it. And yeah, we'll see. Maybe both teams are just waiting for the other team to pick up the Luna so they can pick a Morphling or something else against it.
All right, so yeah, we are going into the second ban on Vitality's side. I'm actually kind of surprised. Like, would it be strategic as a captain to, like, I guess you're kind of like at the standstill where it's like if you ban out a Morphling or a Luna, then you open up that able to be picked up by the other team potentially. So it's like you either have to spend both your bans and ban out both of them, and it's kind of like a waste, or do you feel like there's a priority there?
Well, if you do ban out the Morphling, then the other team will pick up Luna. So in that sense, sure, that works. But if you ban out Luna, then people won't pick up Morphling since, yeah.
Alright, and then you'd want to pick up like a different hero then.
Yeah.
Okay. See, this is why you're around, Hua. for these insights, the ones that I can definitely never delve out of my very shallow understanding of Dota. Alright, so here we are. So we're going actually pretty deep into our reserve time now, as we're sitting at about 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining. And you can see
I'm not sure what they want to ban. They probably have 2 heroes that they choose between, which one of them they want to remove.
Yeah, you can see that like Super is currently, Super's currently talking about what he wants to ban.
I find it really weird that they keep banning their Nakes away, because they pick it themselves quite a lot. And there goes the Luna ban. They do not want to play a Morphling.
Thank you, Super! Yay! I'm so happy. Alright, so Vitality, and the logic behind, I think, the Lifestealer ban is Vici play a really, really strong Lifestealer. I think that could be one of the reasons why. I mean, they're just very comfortable with the hero.
Yeah, but they haven't picked him that much, that's the thing. It's
well, like in 6.88, if
they did a lot? Yeah, okay.
In
that
the
makes sense.
statistics, as we have here, our wonderful statistics brought to you by Deja. Thank you very much, Deja. She's actually probably one of the best stats people currently, I think, in the Dota2 scene. So if you ever need stats, check out Deja. And we're going to be going into our third pick. But first, let's talk a little bit about Vici. They have pretty much instantaneously, they're like, goodbye to the OD. So is that an indication of maybe a potential pick for them later on?
I'm not sure. It would destroy like a DK, so usually either of the teams will go for that, but they go for Sven instead, which is also a very nice hero to play against Slada, since his Warcry obviously removes the advantage of the Slada ult.
Yeah, I like the Warcry for the counter initiation as well. And the other thing about Sven is that he can kind of like, with the help of some supports, just stacking Ancients and that sort of thing, he can catch up if he does get picked off, like maybe once or twice in the lane. You just have like a couple stacks for him to catch up on once he grabs like a Helm of the Dominator, or potentially, I guess, a Mask of Madness. Is that something that's a little bit more popular now in the Sven?
I'm not sure. It's a new thing, and we'll see whether people pick it up or not, and how, since it doesn't really reduce, like, you don't get 20% more damage anymore, you just lose 6 armor, so it might be better on Sven now, since he already buffs his own armor anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Use that Warcry and then just pop the Mask of, or the God Strength of the Mask of Madness, and then you're in a pretty happy position. So, going into the Vici, we have them picking up that Dragon
There goes the Dragon Knight, as expected, as the third pick from either of the teams. But I think IG are ready, because they are aware of Dragon Knight being a very likely pickup, so... If
you think that maybe this next pick will be something that's going to cause the Dragon Knight a lot of trouble?
Not necessarily the next pick, but yeah, they know that there will be a Dragon Knight and they know how to deal with it.
And what would you recommend for like some of the teams that, like, what would be your pickup against a Dragon Knight?
Well, I think, well, you can get lots of heroes like Ursa or whatever, but they're not
tell me about every single one of them. I want to know.
It's okay, he's a melee hero, so you can go for stuff like OD, you can go for stuff like Timber, which is why they banned out both of these heroes, potentially. He counters Snakes, but Snakes also counters him. They're both good against each other. And Legion is probably the most meta choice here, and IG going for it as they did in game 1 as well.
Alright, and it will be Sakata most likely playing that Legion Commander in the mid lane, with Sven being played by Paparazzi. And who was it? Dogfights played the Ricky last time, was it not? I think it was, I'm pretty sure.
But they will not have a Witch Doctor to like fall back on, so I wonder what other support they will go for this time to help out the Legion. Maybe even a Skyrath, but I'm not sure if IG plays that hero, and I don't think he's seen that much
Like, would you kind of like maybe want to double down and like on the kind of like armor thing and maybe grab like a dazzle?
It could also work, but yeah, I don't know about that anymore. Morphling being picked up, yeah, it's an interesting choice. I think it's quite good since IG does not have that many counters yet, and or at all. Like Legion kind of works if you duel the Morphling, but not really since he will just start morphing immediately. So you'd have to get the Ricky there in time as well, so you can get the silence on top of the duel. Darkseer being banned out to avoid that Slaughter Darkseer synergy.
And then the Vici securing, I guess, the Morphling pick with banning out the Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, this looks again better for Skyros, but I don't know if they play that hero at all, or if it's played that much in China even.
So far for the most popular picks, for Vitality, there is no Skywrath really showing up. And actually the same thing for Vici Gaming, absolutely no Skywrath. Yeah. So this could be something potentially that like shows up, but we'll end up seeing. The only thing that we haven't seen kind of pop up from either of these teams is they really like to pick up Oracle, and we haven't seen Oracle being really picked up by either of these teams. They actually have Vici liked Oracle so much they picked them 43 times last patch. It was pretty great. Yeah, Disruptor going to be.
It's also a good choice against Morphling since you have an instant silence that you can pop on top of him. So you don't need the Ricky Cloud to set up the duel from Legion. You can instead use the Disruptor ult. It's going to be really interesting to see whether this is enough to shut down the Morphling, or whether Morphling gets enough farm and eventually manages to pull out an EB or something like that to win the game.
Yeah, I also really like the Disruptor pickup just because it does allow like a little bit of like you can use the defense. You can use his abilities defensively as well to just like say goodbye to like the Morphling after he uses like a waveform, or once the Slaughter comes in and tries to use his Slitherine Crush, you're just gonna be able to remove him from the being able to follow it up with like maybe a couple bashes or that sort of idea. So I think I actually like the Disruptor pickup. We actually haven't really seen him picked up all that often, but as mentioned for everybody here and in the audience as well, that this could potentially be the final game of the WCA 2016 Grand Finals. And before we get into that, I think I would just like to say thank you so much for everyone who's watching, and big shout out to Delphine. Hello, Delphine. And Hua, would you like to say anything to our wonderful audience who's joined us so far for potentially the final game of the WCA?
It's just, I find it interesting that they have to like re-pause the game and reconnect every fucking time because of the weird bugs that end up, I don't know, deleting some hotkeys or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's one of these things. I remember, I think that was 6.67 or something. I might have been where like every single time you'd come into the game, there'd just be like this absolute huge, massive lag spike, and you'd always get like 3 people who disconnect. And so we just like started calling it like the pro Dota meta, which was just like every single game is like, all right, guys. So casters, I hope you have at least 10 minutes of like material to start using, because you just have to like wait 5 minutes at the beginning of the game. So it looks like everyone has reconnected except for the Ricky Dogfight, who will have to try to reconnect here.
I think it's going to be harder for Vici in this game because they do not have a hero that's like a one-trick pony thing. Like they need more team rotations instead of just successful plays by some singular players. FY is going to play Slada this time, and he's going to try to roam, and he's definitely going to try to get some kills on top of the Legion, for example. The last time, however, they attempted this, I think it didn't work out at all, right? So maybe it's going to be better this time, and let's hope it is.
So, you know, like last game we mentioned that like what they were going to ban out, and they ended up banning out the Clockwork, and we're kind of like, why would they ban out the Clockwork? And now we're going to find out, I'm sure, why Clockwork was banned out, because Yang has taken his famous Clockwork. I'm actually really excited to see him.
Yeah, it's also a good hero to play on offlane against the Morphling, for example, because once Morphling is out of mana, he is prone to getting ganked. Like if you smoke up another hero on top of it, he cannot morph, and he's very low on HP to begin with, so he will very likely fall to that gank.
Alright, so we're just having everyone disconnect and reconnect. Actually, do you happen to know what exactly is the
bug?
Glitch
No,
I think it's just hotkeys. I think it's just like the hotkeys disappear.
Maybe.
And then you have to like disconnect and reconnect, and it's kind of odd. But everyone has disconnected and reconnected, and we are just trying to get our hands on this Ricky.
So many strength heroes in the game. If the Timber would have gotten through the ban phase, it would have also been an amazing pickup for either of these teams. Like, he's amazing against both Legion and Sven and DK2. But he did not.
Would it be safe to say that this could potentially be the patch of the strength hero?
I don't know about that. Like mainly the meta is gonna take a couple of weeks to start manifesting actually, because right now it's still all out there in the open.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting to see like kind of the discussion between like the professional level scene and like I guess the pub game scene, where a lot of people are talking about, well, Legion Commander showing up in both professional games and in public games. But one hero we haven't seen is Lycan, which he had, I think, a pretty strong buff in this patch, and we haven't seen him picked up even once.
Yeah, people haven't trained him at all for quite a while, and I don't think they will like immediately jump to a hero that maybe they have played in a pub, but they haven't played a single scrim with or a lot of scrims
exactly.
with. So yeah, maybe we would have seen something like that from one of the European teams or even South American teams. But I doubt very much that the Chinese team would jump to something like that.
Yeah, I think Union Gaming, like previous patches, like the players who were in Union Gaming, obviously not the team Union Gaming because they're actually relatively new, but they did like to play Lycan, and unfortunately it just hasn't been picked up. So I guess maybe we'll see what the emerging meta has for the future. I think Dota has certainly changed quite a bit. At least I do have to say I kind of like the talent trees. I'll be interested to see if like the talent trees get buffed, because as you mentioned, it doesn't seem like it's like a super huge deal at the moment. Like it's not like, all right,
it's
the
still
second
very
you
random.
hit,
it's still very beta-like.
yeah,
definitely.
it's like the second you hit level 10, it's like not like a completely different game. It's like, oh, okay, you get 7 extra strength, or you get 4 armor or something like that. So it doesn't seem like it's kind of like devastating to the game, which I actually kind of appreciate that Ice Frog didn't do. So, all right,
still
ladies and
having
gentlemen,
issues though. They're finally starting to reconnect, but Beta just keeps disconnecting, reconnecting.
All right,
maybe
everyone,
now.
yay, we got it, guys! Woo!
Just IG. Okay, everyone is ready, and we're going to start the game now, and we're going to get into the game.
Alright, so there we go. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get potentially the final game of the WCA finals going on with our introduction. So this time on the Dire side, we have FY, who will be playing the Slardar. We have Mikasa, who will be playing the Dragon Knight. We have DDC, who will be playing the Witch Doctor. We have End, who will be playing the Morphling. And last but not least, we have On the Clockwork playing his famous Clockwork. Of course, is going to be Yang. And they do instantly ping out that ward. They're just like, we're on that. Alright, so Super going to be playing that Disruptor. Sven going to be playing by Paparazzi. In the mid lane, we're going to have Cicada playing the Legion Commander. Dogfights once again on that Ricky. And then in July, going to be playing the Bat Rider.
Super actually catching both the Sentry and the Observer with just one Sentry of his own. That was pretty lucky.
And I think, yeah, that doesn't end up blocking either of the camps. Unfortunate for Yang, that's going to be a little bit harder for him. Oh, there we go. Actually, yeah, this is that. Oh, wow, look at actually that ward. I like that ward. It's good.
And they also know
what's going on here. Cicada might actually end up getting picked off for the first blood. She is slowed down, but in July, doing a good job getting some napalm stacks. 3 on DDC, 2 on FY. And so Cicada will actually end up surviving.
Vici managing to pick up 3 of the runes though? No. Did they? I'm not sure. Let's see.
Yeah, look at...
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, look at Dogfight's positioning here. Just like kind of hiding at like these trees up top.
Yeah, he I think he might want to... Yeah, he got the ward. That's the reason why he stood there. He used it very late so that he can use the HP regen from the Tango for as long as possible while trying to last it on the lane.
So it's all about these like little small things.
And bot lane, Yang already being pressured and the game being immediately paused, while Yang already dropping dangerously low.
Alright, so Yang, there is no stun as it is on cooldown, but defensive cogs should be enough to keep him alive, and that is indeed the case.
Do you remember who went and came on ahead on that mid lane? I think it was kind of even, right? The last time those two heroes like played against each other?
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I think it was Mikasa who was playing the Legion Commander though. I think it's the other way around. But the Legion Commander actually ended up winning that lane. Like, just not like completely convincingly, but just like Mikasa had like Sakata had like a much harder time than normal.
No, Sakata was playing the LC as
Oh, was
well.
he? Okay, so yeah, then
yeah. No, he was.
Well, then it's round number 2 between Mikasa and Sakata, and hopefully Mikasa will do a little bit better than he did last time. Because I really felt like...
I think on top lane might be getting pressured.
Meanwhile, at the bottom, yeah, just
searching for him, but not finding him.
And is this like a straight up just... Yeah, in July is just straight up just going to be jungling this Bat Rider?
Yeah.
Yeah, in July seems to really enjoy the jungling. It's like my favorite thing to do as well in Dota. All right, so Arcane Rune being pinged out by the Bat Rider. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Mikasa and Sakata still fighting.
We see a dive of Sakata, but he's not going to go for that completely.
Oh, here we go, defensive cogs in July. Going to go use that Firefly. Battery Assault is kind of just trying to keep that distance, but it is 3 going to heal himself up using the Shrine, and that's going to keep him alive, and July is going to have to disengage.
Yeah.
Overall, though, we are going to see that Sven's farming extremely well in his lane, as is the Morphling in his respective lane.
I find it interesting that the Riki actually gets a free level 3 pretty much on the offlane, because we have both FY and DDC on that lane trying to catch him.
Oh, there we are, trying to go in. And Dogfight just instantly going for the TP. Is it going to be enough?
Oh, nope. Stun being cancelled by FY, so he does not waste the mana indeed. It's interesting to see again as well, though, that IG, as usual, uses one kind of jungling hero before Axe, and before that Darkseer, and also the Bat Rider. So instead of having 2 roaming supports, they play a bit more greedy. And so far it seems to work out just fine for them, since there have not been enough kills or rotations by Vici to make up for it. FY trying to pull a little bit to get some of that gold.
Yang's actually playing very aggressively with this Clockwork and has actually managed to get Paparazzi down to pretty much no mana to be able to follow up stuns. And I think Disruptor on his own really can't take out the...
Yeah, forcing Paparazzi to get both a stick and a mango, so he will have the mana to Stormbolt and potentially kill Yang. But without the Bat Rider rotating over, they cannot kill him. There is the
going to be
clip,
glimpsed back in, and there is the lighting into a Stormbolt. Firefly going to come out, and Yang is indeed actually going to end up falling. First blood being drawn by the Sven of all people. And yeah, you definitely called it. You're like, they have to bring in that Bat Rider, and that's precisely what they did.
Yeah, Dogfight sneaking on top of that lane again. FY only has dust, there's no sentry. Is he gonna use it? No. Just walks away, does not predict the position of the Riki.
Oh, Mikasa's gonna activate a double damage rune here in the mid.
He's going to steal that bounty on top lane with Slada rotating around. I guess they want to push in the lane and potentially kill the Riki as soon as he shows. Slada running in using the dust.
There's the dust. It does hit Dogfight right on the tail end. Did they see him? Yes, they do. And there it is, into the stun, into waveform, Maledict, and a couple right clicks, and that should be more than enough to take him out. And it did. Actually, the kill goes to the Morphling.
Bot lane at the same time.
Oh, there we are.
Dropping really low, but
not enough mana for the glimpse.
2 being kind of low on HP. I find it very interesting because usually people just plant sentries when they don't know where the Invis hero is, but FY is very confident in his predictions and dropping the dust on top of Dogfight. And like in all of the last couple of games it worked the same way. And is he going to do this again? He is indeed.
There it is, and Dogfight going to have to drop that silence, and there's the slam into a waveform once again. Are we going to get a lucky kill? Tries to get the body block. Dogfight trying to run for his life. It's just not going to happen. It's going to be another kill on end.
And Sakata is though close to them. Might get that pick off on FY. Is going to
there
try.
We are. There is going to be the duel, and there's the extra damage. And just like, sorry, buddy, I gotta leave ya. Oh, she actually doesn't get the damage. What is going on, FY?
With 20 HP and manages to run away after a stun. Meanwhile, Sven farming away, getting slightly ahead of the Morphling too.
Yeah, just a little 46 to 9 and 36 to 8. Meanwhile, the Morphling sitting at 34 and 17. Let's go to the overall the net worth now, and we see
we have a sort of scenario as before. Like everyone is kind of even, with the one exception that due to the Batrider farming in the jungle, we have 2 rather poor heroes, whereas on IG's side we only have 1, which is the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, and poor Super sitting at level 5 with only boots and a TP to his name.
No pushes coming out yet. Ricky just keeps trying to get some levels. A lot of TPs happening bottom.
Oh, there we are. Into a Cogs. Gonna use that battery assault. DDC ready to go in, but
that was actually perfect for FY, since he just stunned on the ground, did what he came for, and got glimpsed back. Could run away again after saving Yang from that Sven ultimate hitting him and killing.
Alright, so we will get DDC. He's gonna get a River Ward. Yang, walking right into Paparazzi. There it is, stuck in between the both of them. Gonna get that Maledict off and is glimpsed back, but Yang is gonna keep that Paparazzi inside his Cogs, and now they want to maybe try to go. No, they won't. Sakata's there, but there's Mikasa with the dragon form. She's stunned. When is that next cast ready? In 2 seconds, and gonna try to use that press the attack. But the bounces between the two gonna push them away with the Cogs, and now Mikasa gonna be on the run. DDC not enough mana as with Yang. But is there really any follow-up? No, there is not. But meanwhile, at the top lane, once again FY making that prediction, dusting the Ricky and taking him out.
Yeah, the people are gathering up to heal on the shrine as well.
Yeah, meanwhile in the mid lane we do have just a little bit of movement. Oh no, there's the hook shot on top of that Sven, uses the Storm Bolt, and there's the cast jumping in between. Don't think it's gonna be any chance of survival for that Sven, and that is indeed the case.
This is the second time in a row they've killed him, and he's now fallen behind the Morphling, having a bit of a trouble to farm up his gold.
Let's see, is this, yeah, it's end on the Morphling.
Yeah, we see at the same time that the bot tower is getting pressured a little bit by Mikasa. No dragon form up, but still tower dropping a bit of HP.
They're gonna scout that out. Another small little subtle change to Dota 2, where now when you teleport in, it no longer breaks the trees. Makes it a little bit easier to kind of sneak in there for rotations.
Batrider getting closer and closer to that blink, but not yet having it.
Yeah, he's sitting at about 800 gold at the moment. Meanwhile, at the bottom tower, take a look at that little disruptor. Picking up a couple more levels. And there is going to be the smoke coming out in the mid lane. And probably going to end up looping around, maybe try to grab somebody in this.
Paparazzi, having used that ult, might get caught in a fight without having his ult.
No God Strength and no Warcry available. Are we gonna see it? They have a couple more seconds. FY ready to go, reveals. And there's the hook into a slam. There will be the glimpse on the hook shot, but now he's trapped inside those Cogs. Follow-up stun, but good silence. There's gonna be the engagement by dogfights, but that disruptor ult's doing so much pops the stick. Mikasa still trying to get this disruptor off the field, and that indeed is going to happen. But is Mikasa going to fall to this? No, it is. FY is on top of the DDC with the Death Ward, and now in July trying to make his way, steals the bounty rune, just trying to get himself a little bit of extra gold, and he is also going to end up falling. Mikasa sitting at 50 health overall, like almost that entire fight.
Yeah, very, very close, definitely. Not managing to get that duel off on the 1 HP Dragon Knight there. Very, very sad for the Legion. This was definitely, yeah, it was a really close situation. The disruptor ult was very nice, but it was not enough. Dogfight blocking the Morphling.
And does he have enough mana to get away? He doesn't. Into a Storm Ball. There will be a defensive Cogs, but it doesn't really work. Gonna have to use that waveform where he just managed to get by popping the stick.
Without a silence, it's pretty much impossible to kill him right now. Are they going to smoke up? They meet up at the shrine.
Oh, it looks like Vici are doing.
There
Oh, there's
goes
the hook shot instantaneously locking down Cicada. Cicada going to try to get away, but remember that battery assault's going to slow her down just a little bit. And there's a breathe fire. And does
Nice
end up
body block by
picking her
Yang,
off.
making
Excellent
sure he
job.
gets in range for that breathe fire. At the same time, FY farming a little bit, getting his level 6 on that bot lane.
Yeah,
and
he
the tier 1 mid is
definitely-
being pressured as well.
Yeah, they're going to pressure that tier 1 mid, but you are right. I think it's really important for FY to grab that level 6 and now has the level 7. Oh, hello. Defensive cogs.
Glimpse is ready.
And there's the glimpse going into the fray. Yang gonna have to pop that battery assault. Is he gonna be able to survive? There will be the Maldic into a dust. And they're gonna try to bring him in, but there's the death ward and not really able to do very much. It looks like that it's gonna be a dead Yang. And I think that's Cicada's first instance of damage coming out so far in this game. 12 minutes into... And there we are, going in for the T1 Dire Tower. There's not much you can do here. Oh, breathe fire into a stun, but there will be the silence. Into a Stormbolt. Will it be enough to take out Mikasa? He is continuing to be silenced. One more hit and he will go down. FY gonna have to now run for his life.
Very nicely done by him running behind.
He's using that amplified damage. He's gonna get the other slam down. And there's a little bit of a silence on Witch Doctor. What are you guys doing? No, there's the hook shot.
TTC walking into the smoke, a little bit confused.
Yeah, you
And
really
IG
want Cicada to try to get that,
retreat.
but there's the invisibility.
He
Does
is
FY
revealed
have...
though by the slaughter.
Oh, yep, there's the truth. It's going to purge it off of her and continue to run, healing herself up the best she can. No blink available, unfortunately, on FY, so that is just going to be a disengagement.
Yeah.
So let's actually take a look at that overall fight recap, though, because it felt like there was a lot more going on, but it looks like there's only 2 and 2 on each side. Really the advantage sitting for the Radiant.
Yeah, it was kind of an even fight, but they did lose a core with the DK, unlike IG, which only lost 2 supports, so definitely it was in their favor. That bottom tower, at the same time, some TP's happening.
Yeah, they have 3...
In vision from the Clockwork rocket, though. And slowly Ricky starts to move out, trying to scout some of the Vici heroes.
Oh, going on FY, just uses up that ult.
Yeah, you got spooked there.
I mean, fair enough. I think like the psychological warfare between FY and dogfights has been fairly well established. I mean, dogfights each time is like, all right, well, I know they have no sentries here, and then suddenly it's just like, oh, FY has dust on me. How did this happen?
There's an interesting smoke happening, having them run around. Gonna burst into, get Yang, glimpse him.
Glimpse. Yang gonna have to be
Dueling
dueled
him,
in, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough into a death ward.
Oh.
Is this gonna be extra damage? Yes, it will. The Legion Commander goes down along with the Ricky in July. Gonna have to try to make his way, but FY might be in enough range for Super. There's the slam, but Mikasa can't really follow it up. But it looks like Super's just gonna get body block cast, and the breathe fire will take him out. Double kill for Mikasa.
Yeah, that was, again, quite an interesting fight, and you see really how well the Ricky and the Witch Doctor work against the Legion. You just put the Cloud on top, and there's no way she can win the duel, and the Witch Doctor Death Ward making sure she dies instead too.
Indeed. Now, my question about the build is going to come about Paparazzi specifically. He is going straight up for the Mask of Madness, as we said was going to be really good now with the changes to the Mask of Madness, but his second item is going to be the BKB. How do you feel about that choice?
Well, he needs to go for it, and it's good for him. Usually, it's actually interesting to see because BKBs are being picked up very early, sometimes even before the first item, most of the time at least after 1 or 2 items that are really small, even like some 2k items like a Mask of Madness or a Dragon Lance, stuff like that. It used to be that you actually get one bigger-ish item that's like double the price, something like, yeah, doesn't matter, something bigger anyways, like a Shadow Blade.
Oh, FY going in on Super. There's the Death Ward into the waveform, and that is a very dead support, and that's going to allow them to secure that tier 1 mid tower. But as you were saying, it's just typically you see like the you want to pick like 1 or 2 items and then go into the BKB, but then in this case at least seems like they're FY going to go in onto Sven. Sven going to be locked down. Breathe fire into the cogs. He's desperately trying to escape, and that indeed will not happen.
Yeah, dropping really fast from that. Is there a smoke happening? No, a lot of TPs
double
coming
teleport to the top.
That
and scouted out with
rocket.
that flare. Yeah, look at that.
He does have his blink now, though.
There's the FO close in July,
Sure,
trying to pull him away, but that movement speed.
Yeah. The flame break into a dot change, stopping FY from being able to blink on top of him and stun him. Right there. DTC getting closer to level 11.
And how is this Sven doing now? He's sitting at 1,000, so very close to his BKB. And Yang just using that rocket flare to scout out a little bit, and he does actually end up scouting out. Oh, are we going to see another smoke here? Oh, FY just going to pull back real quick. A little bit conservative on each side. It's like once again, it's like that calm before the hurricane of violence.
Yeah, they just wait for the right timing to actually commit to any fights or anything like that. Sakata still being very far away from his blink.
Yeah, not close, but does have the armlet, so not in a terrible position. Does have like at least one carry item.
Rocket into smoke by Vici here, right next to their Morphling, being ready for a potential kidnapping attempt by Batrider.
And I think, is this Mikasa? Yeah, he just smoked.
And they walk past.
I have a feeling that maybe IG have sniffed out some of the shenanigans that are going to be happening with that
might see
solo.
a counter smoke from their side at the same time.
Oh, there we are. They're going to return. They're grouping up. Paparazzi coming
There's
in.
still cooldown on the smoke because it went to the backpack from in July.
Yeah, so what are the mechanics again for that? It's like 7 seconds of
6.
cooldown time?
Yeah, 6. And they use the smoke now. Trying to see which is. They saw the rocket, so they have a rough idea of the positioning.
There we go, dogfight. There's the Firefly. They're going to be pinging. There's Yang using up the battery assault. He is going to be silenced into the flame break, into a Stormbolt, but does have the Blade Mail going up. Ultimate going to be directly affected. Mikasa trying to go in, use that breathe fire. The Witch Doctor is going to go down and end morphing into strength, but is it going to be enough? Lincoln Sphere popped by the duel into a Stormbolt, and it's not going to be enough for him to survive. That's going to be 2 down. Disruptor does fall in the meantime, and Ricky barely holding on to his life, using up those stick charges. And Yang trying to get himself to safety, and does so successfully.
Yeah, very close. Sven sadly running into the cog, getting pushed back, not being able to get that pick off he needed to get him.
All right, let's take a quick look at that overall fight recap. You know what? That could have gone a lot worse for
the mid we see actually the FY jumping Sakata for no real reason. Looked interesting. And Paparazzi keeps farming away. Yeah, it's still a kind of an even game actually. Like both teams can win those team fights, even though it looks as if Vici has been winning the last few ones.
Yeah, currently, as you said, like overall, like with the fights, you are 100% right. It seems like it can go either way. However, the difference in XP and the overall team net worth is slightly in the favor of VG at the moment, so Vici Gaming.
Yeah.
And Morphling's going to be able to pick up a double stack. I always find like this, the Petrify and the Desecrate thing coming out of these Ancient Prowlers. It seems to like just cast like all the time now. It's just really interesting. And such a long route too.
Yeah.
However, while they're running that double stack, some Clockwork does end up scouting out the Roshan, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Under a ward, Vici does.
I mean, could it be just like...
a long time. They might not have seen this actually, since he waveformed away right after the smoke. Some Clockwork Rocket coming out, trying to scout.
Yeah, I think it's a good call to disengage from that after being scouted out. But it looks like actually now it's going to be their turn to make the attempt.
They go for the Roche.
They're going to go for the Roche. This is so
being
risky.
Really close to it, but it dies so fast.
Because of the amplified damage, but Super does have his ultimate. He's going to bring it down. They're all silenced, but FY keeping 4 of them stunned. into a hook shot, and there is going to be the shotgun. The Lincolns is popped, but there's going to be the taunt, but none of them are really fighting. FY once again getting another slam down. The Batrider is dead and barely surviving, trying to morph to strength, but it's just not going to happen. The cast bouncing between the two, and now the breeze fire into the cog. Cicada popping it, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The blade mail, and that's going to be 4 down, and this Ricky is just skirting the line. And this is going to secure the Roshan. Maybe Dogfight can try to steal. No, I think it goes down too fast. No, he's not going to. Is he going to try? Is he going to try? Is this going to really happen? Come on, Dogfight, you can do this, I believe. Nope, there's the cogs into it, and no, Mikasa's going to end up picking that up. And actually, the Ricky dies.
Strike dropped him into the cog there.
Oh,
what a beautiful jump by FY though, definitely making sure that they cannot actually use that disruptor ult to end up killing the DK and the Morphling who stood inside the pit there.
Yeah, FY right there was 100% the star player with that 4-man Slytherin crush. I could not believe it. That perfect blink, perfect timing. This is why I consider him like one of the best players.
Yeah, he did amazing there.
And definitely certainly the best captain of my heart.
Yeah, it's just another way towards victory for Vici here, gaining that Aegis and winning another team fight as well on top of it. I think if they actually win 1 or 2 more team fights, I think 1 might even be enough. IG will lose this.
Oh, there's the BKB being popped by Paparazzi, but in turn, we have the BKB being popped on the DK, but remember that Flaming Lasso does pierce it. There's the shotgun into a double silence. Will In July survive? That will not be the case. And now, with that Batrider down, there will be the ulti coming out from the Ricky. There's the taunt, a little bit of extra damage on Cicada, but that does mean it's going to be a very dead Cicada in return. And there's another shotgun coming out on Dogfight. Will they be able to get him? Mikasa taking the damage from that tower, getting a little bit low, and will end up having to toggle. Dogfight maybe wanting to try to pick him off, potentially. FY knows, no, he's looking for him, but it's not going to happen. He TP's out to safety. And they actually dedicate a scan to it as well.
Get the tier 2 though. They retreat knowing that the... Oh, very close FY trying to make sure that Mikasa gets his TP through without any Ricky interfering by stunning the ground.
See, and that's like the type of thinking that you love seeing from like a support player. I think it was said by one of our friends is that like, you know, it like support can be easy to learn. Like you can put new players on a support, but like high-end professional level support players are the best Dota players, and that's just like a perfect example of just like the type of thought process that FY has when he is like helping out his carry, just always making sure that you know, that DK is able to get to safety. And look at that again. Just uses that slam on the Ricky. Oh, there's going to be a hook shot into a cogs. But are we going to see much in the way of going back in? And there he is. He's going to get picked off. The Sven. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we have a bit of a situation between Cicada and FY. Nope, not going to end up being able to do anything there.
There's a glimpse.
And there's the glimpse coming in. FY might be in a little bit of trouble. No, it looks like he's going to be fine. They're going to drop the sentry, and there's the cast into a shotgun. Goodbye, Ricky.
Yeah, this shotgun starting to take a lot of effect in this game as well. I wonder if IG will... how long they will actually stay in this game, because right now it doesn't look like they can for too long. Still the Aegis is up, so they will lose Rex right now.
Alright, so looks like the onslaught onto the high ground and onto the racks will happen, forcing out the Fortify. Meanwhile, we do have the Morphling kind of just using his illusion to keep going on. There will be the Flame Break, just trying to create a little bit of chaos, but that tier 3 will end up going down, and they are going to dedicate themselves to that melee racks, knowing that they have the Aegis available, but Paparazzi does have the BKB available along with the Mask of Madness and a Blink. So if he wants to maybe try to do something here, he could, but it's pretty dangerous situation. There it is in July. Pops the BKB. Going in, there's the hook shot into 3. There are the cogs, and there's the Maledict as well, but double silence. The BKB gets popped, and the God Strength, they're very close together. DD is going to end up going down. Yang with the blade mail, but it's gonna try to keep him off, but there's the duel of the DK and the LC, but is the DK going to fall? That is not the case. We do have the Breathe Fire available. He does have the Aegis. And now it's going to be the range racks going down. Everyone's a little bit low, but there's still 4 remaining with 3 down on the Radiant side. Sakata going to pop that Aegis with the overwhelming odds. And now End going to escape to safety using that TP. Mikasa
he probably has an illusion up to get back into the fight. No, he doesn't. He's actually staying away.
Yeah, the illusion was taken out during the Rax fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, one lane is down now, and they will go for the next fight. It feels a bit like Sven just runs around trying to get people low on HP and killing them, but not being able to get more than 1 or 2 hits on them every time, which still drops them, but there is the hero that is needed to actually kill them after he makes them lose some HP. Legion has not been that successful at doing that so far. It feels. Or not successful enough at least.
Alright, so yeah, DDC just getting a little bit of extra farm over there in the jungle. Meanwhile, Dogfight maybe scouting out FY a little bit there. Yeah, there's going to be a bit of a blink. And as you can see, the overall net worth just low, going further and further in advantage. FY going to be able to escape from that Legion commander as he...
Planting his sentry. Like, he's ready for Dogfight being there. I don't think Dogfight showed yet, but he might soon. And he might pay for it, since there is also a Witch Doctor in range to cast his ult.
Yeah, they do end up getting scouted out by that player. What's going on here?
Getting spooked and jumping out. Had he somehow known that Ricky was alone, that would have been a sure kill. Clockwork Rocket coming out a bit too late to give him that knowledge. And Paparazzi just keeps farming, but soon he will have the damage to kill off the Morphling in a cleave even. So when that happens, that again I think will be a chance definitely for IG to turn this around after all.
Yeah, and I definitely think that, you know, it's like one of those things where, you know, there's some games where you can just GG out of because you know you're not going to win, but this is definitely not one of them. I mean, if you get a good... Oh, there we go, going in on the DK. He's going to try TP out, but has to end up popping his VKB. The Glimmer came from DDC, but will it be enough to keep him alive? Dogfight's right on his tail, and there's the hook shot coming out on Mikasa, just going to try to de-incentivize the engagement, and that's indeed what is going to end up happening. But Super... do you have yourself a glimpse available potentially to maybe pick off someone? That does not seem to be the case quite yet. You cannot go on that Morphling. Can you? Oh, we're going to pop the BKB and it's pulling him out of the fray. There's going to be the silence, but I think he's going to be able to survive this for a little while. That Death Ward just making it so hard. Oh, Sakata barely alive. Can we do anything? There's the shotgun, and that's a mega kill streak for End, who has just been continuing to dominate so far.
Yeah. Morphling starting to shine even more. I don't know if Sven will be able to kill Morphling, even if the game goes better. But if he does, then that's what they will have to rely on to win this game. However, Vici already starting to push into this bot lane.
Oh, there's the hook shot coming in again. Sven gonna be forced to pop his BKB into a Maldic, but he is immune. There's the shotgun. Goodbye to that Bat Rider. And now we're gonna use Force Staff Links in. There's a big glimpse. Get FY out of my face. But this is gonna be a tier 3 tower running.
Yeah, they will lose that lane for sure.
Yeah, they're losing the melee as well. Yang just going to put up some defensive cogs to make sure. And they're actually not going to remain to just take out the ranged.
They just need to do this one more time.
Oh,
Top lane, they're actually going back
reset. There it is. Stun down. No BKB available. Going to have to use the Ricky ult, but they are silenced. But so many BKBs are being popped, and that is going to be... And just shotgunning them down. 3 down.
GG being called. No, finally just
no
called by IG. Giving up the game and making way for a 5th game.
My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we are going into game number 5 of this. But Vici Gaming going to take 2. Oh, this is going to be an intense series. Here we were thinking that it might have gone 3-0 for one side, 3-0 for the other side, and now we are getting probably one of the most high-stakes games that we're going to see here in China, which is going to be Vici Gaming versus IG in game number 5, the one that determines the $300,000 prize pool. But My goodness. Like, let's just kind of maybe go through what happened there, because we saw the first two games where they were, like, IG was really just dominating the entire playfield. Like, it was, actually, I shouldn't say dominate, but they were, like, very even, and then it just kind of, like, suddenly flipped to their side, and they ended up taking the games. And then, like, did the mentality change? Is it just the drafts? Is it just the execution? Like, what is making
I think it
Vici...
feels like it's a combination of both the draft and maybe the mentality as well. Like in the last game they had a Morphling, in the game before that they had a Wisp and a Morphling. Those certainly are heroes that like change the gameplay a bit, but it's also that they don't have their problems anymore. Our other casters are walking away, and I don't know why we're still sitting here. Are we gonna talk even? I'm not sure. I think, no, we have to keep talking. I think we have to talk about the game.
But yeah, so anyway, let's talk a little bit about maybe just like the overall draft and okay, there we go. Thank you.
流浪往往通过刷野和远古能够刷到7000甚至8000，这在前期是很恐怖的。但是在新版本，由于这个整个野区机制的变动，其实这一点已经很难再实现了。
我觉得这2场比赛确实是有点像危机愤怒的觉醒，尤其是刚刚结束的这一场，应该说危机从前期、中期就一直是把胜势掌握在手中的，也没有出现什么失误。那么这场比赛的话，小聪有什么要点评的吗？
那我可能说的会相对于简短一些，而且我会说一些就是相对于来说比较激情的一波团战。那这波团战其实大家应该也是看到了，在这一场比赛的中后期，也是肉山团的那一波团。其实本来那个时候 IG.V 已经处于一个劣势的状态，而 IG.V 是选择铤而走险的去想收一波肉山，但是呢是被发条地精，也就是羊使用的发条地精，用照明弹去探到了肉山的视野，然后及时开悟进行一波打。但是 IG 的话也是有一个河道的眼是看到了肉山里面发生的肉山外面发生的情况，然后在肉山这儿打了一波团。这个时候羊的这个发条地精非常巧妙的使用了自己的这个能量齿轮去把对手的去路给隔开了，才让这波肉山团打得非常的精彩。这也是给我这场比赛给我印象最深的一个画面吧。那另外的话，其实也是等于是到了这个比赛的最巅峰了，因为2-2，对、这个东西就没有说再也没有重来的机会了，是最后的一次机会了。我觉得
其实在我们 WCA 的舞台上，不管是什么项目的总决赛，那么几乎都是打满5局的一个情况。那这也足以证明，就是进入到总决赛阶段的2支战队都是顶尖的职业战队。其实我觉得对于观众还有对于我们来讲都是非常过瘾的几场比赛。
是的。
那么最后一局呢，我觉得无论是哪一个战队的支持者，其实看到这一幕都是非常开心的，因为这是我们2支中国的战队。所以呢，请大家一起来期待最后一场决胜局。那么现在稍事休息，待会儿再见。
稍后见。
站在最好的赛场上，让更多人为你欢呼。这是全部吗？不，你还拥有无限可能。
Metal aesthetics. Floating keycap. Change it yourself. T-Move.
Co.Ltd 电竞新品首发，专为游戏竞技定制，冠军战队专属选择，龙珠女子战队倾城代言，专业电竞显示器IG.V爱攻，顶级战场等你来战。
重塑对极限的认知。Alienware Area 51采用英特尔酷睿 i7 处理器。 强者并非与生俱来，而是源自强大的内心，是充满力量的心，是专注的心。它可以把控一切，同时不失细节。这颗心让强者卓然超群，打破限制，撼动世界。要知道，磨练可以造就强者，而英特尔酷睿 i7 处理器更让强者势不可挡。 这
来看镜头，
无关身份，无关性别，无关分数高低，无关内敛还是耀眼，无关体重，无关收入多少，无关命运、选择、前途、希望，这只关系到每的读秒。你是谁？
别给我说要低调，我根本听不到。想跟我讲什么战术走位，你最好先追上我。
盲狙、甩狙除了反应，还需要天赋。
感觉来了，枪枪都是黄金爆头。
节奏加距离，我用刀可以飘翻全场。
在我的世界里，
做不了最好的，就做最屌的。
穿越火线，不服来战。站在最好的赛场上，让更多人为你欢呼。这是全部吗？不，
你还拥有无限可能。
52vs52超大规模机甲战争，机动战士敢达 OL 最新资料片上线，不同阵容的势力对抗，带你体验有史以来最大规模国战。最强 ZZ 敢达降临，快来感受最强敢达机师的魅力和荣耀。戴尔游侠7000笔记本专为年轻群体设计，炫酷外形，性能强悍。了解更多优惠，请关注游侠7000官方微店。傲风之刃电竞外观真力，纳米级透气靠背，180度后躺，4D 扶手 ，Auto4 傲风，电竞选手爱用的电竞椅。专业电竞品牌 iGO 爱工为 WCA 2016官方唯一指定显示器品牌，爱工为荣耀而战。极客极致极酷，西伯利亚专业电竞游戏耳机，带你来一场身临其境的战斗。
英雄的竞技场，玩家的寻梦地。Hello， 大家好，欢迎回到 WCA 2016 DOTA2 总决赛的现场。那么，经过了 IG.V 和 VG 两支战队的殊死搏斗之后，终于是进入到了双方的决胜局。
是的，
那么这场比赛呢，对于双方都是非常关键的。那么谁能够获得胜利的话，就能够直接夺得总冠军了。那迪斯老师和小聪对于这场比赛有没有自己的一些期待和看法？
那现在肯定是对于 VG 来说，他们的气势会更加的旺盛一点。毕竟在先胜2局、手握3个赛点的情况下，被人家连扳2局。而且如果你真的有非常好的办法能够针对对手的话，你在后面的第3局、第4局就不会这样的一直输掉了。所以对于 IG.V 来讲，他现在承受了更大的一个压力。而且其实我们在上一局单选的时候就谈到过，就是当前版本很重要的一个环节是在前中期要给对方压力，要打开局面之后去掌握主动权，而不是盲目的去拖后期刷钱等节奏，这种行为是一个慢性死亡的行为。而刚才在第4局的半选来看 IG.V 似乎还没有摸到这个脉络，他们还选择的是一个发力期比较晚、整体节奏比较拖的一个阵容思路。如果他们不能把这样一个半选思路纠正过来，继续这样盲目的去拖后，放弃前中期这样一个去掌握主动权的机会的话，那我觉得第5局比赛他们依然是很难去战胜对手。
比较堪忧的。那无论是从心理上还是从战术上面，那小聪呢？
是的，其实我觉得也是，怎么说呢？这个东西就是从我之前经常说，就是 VG 战队其实是在比赛的过程中是在不断的学习的。所以说，我觉得目前不仅是 VG，IG.V 的战队也是双方已经了解了对手的一个习惯也好，打法也好。应该是一个现在是双方都是一个手感最火热的时候，这个时候其实我觉得就是一个是在保证稳定的情况下能做出一些突破，这个可能是打对手意想不到的一个情况。但另外的话，我们都知道这2个队伍已经是杀到最后了，他们的水平已经是一样了。其实 DOTA 的话，我觉得个人理解就是在战术上赢对方的情况下，其实更多的是要抓对手的失误。所以说就看这2边谁能绷住这最后一口气了。是的，
是。那么具体来讲的话，对于最后一场的这个阵容上面，有没有自己的一些期待和预测？
我觉得 IG.V 可以坚持打自己的蝙蝠体系，但是你配的队友不要再是这种特别拖节奏的队友了。其实我觉得 IG.V 之前在第4局的时候就可以应该主动拿小精灵，然后配上一些打架和甚至包括像拍熊这样的英雄，前中期就为点主动的进攻去压迫对手。他们 本身的蝙蝠体系应该是之前一直以来用的挺好的，或者说你调整一下思路。当前版本我觉得有2个比较推荐的3号位，其实是沙王跟发条这2个点都是属于不太依赖装备就能够发动进攻，然后还有很好的一个战场的一个控制和输出能力。这种情况下，你的团队节奏就会被你的3号位给带动起来。包括我们这一场比赛看下来，其实我们注意到，像鱼人、水人这种组合或者类似的这种体系，在不断的寻找自己在当前版本的一个适应的套路。这一点你应该适当的去针对一下。包括像小狗这种英雄，你是不是可以不用ban，你是把鱼人ban掉？他已经教你做人好几次了，你可以尊重一下。
我觉得 VC 之所以能够在后面的2局当中发挥出自己的优势来扳回2局，其实还是在前面2局失利之后，我相信是经过一番讨论和调整的。其实就像是刚刚说的，那么小聪对于最后一场的这个阵容有没有或者说自己的一些预测？
其实我觉得我更多的就是听完 DC 老师的分析以后，可能我自己会有一些体会。对，就是这种视角，其实就是把自己的长处的东西，比如说我们所说的大鱼，包括上一次发挥不错的发条地精，还有一些像蝙蝠体系什么之类的，就是 DC 老师之前总结的，那这些是可以进行保留的，但更多的是这些尝试，我觉得不太适合放在最后的一场比赛上。我觉得这些尝试可能是要求稳的，因为职业选手的话，他们心里也会有一个以稳为主，然后以实验为辅的一个打法，所以说最后一场比赛可能真的是在 BP 上就是一个心理和战术上的一个斗争。
对，因为我们知道对于 DOTA 2来讲 BP 有多么的重要。好，现在我们进入到 BP 的阶段。
还是继续办掉小黑，这个是没问题。下一手我觉得真的可以考虑把大鱼给办掉，或者要么你觉得有没有可能你自己拿大鱼，你打3都行。IG.V 现在是在夜眼方，还是办小狗。
All right, well, welcome everyone to game number 5 between we have IG Vitality and V's, but my goodness, what a showdown we've had so far. We've had 2 games being taken by Vitality straight off the bat, and then with a quick return, we've had Vici just managed to tie it back up, and now we are here at the WCA Grand Finals in the final game that will determine whether or not these guys are going to run away with $300,000 or $175,000. So let's jump into the draft. We see those typical bands straight off, which is the Drow and the Life Stealer, and then we have the Silencer and the Bounty Hunter. And first things first, for Vitality, who've managed to get the first pick, they are going to grab that Luna, and Vici are going to go for the Slardar and the Rubik.
I wonder if IG will pick up Ricky again, because they have picked him up in the last 3 games, and the only time they didn't pick him up was the second game, where he was banned in the first phase. So they might go for him again, since, yeah, so far 100% pick rate if he's not banned.
Yeah, they do really like to put dogfights on the Ricky. I think that they have one game where they put Super on the Ricky, but I'm not 100% sure. But dogfights has been playing like a pretty solid Ricky so far, but like it just seems that like FY has like a little bit of an edge. Those really great predictions when he's dropping the sentries or using his dust.
At least in the last 2 games, it didn't seem to affect them that much to play against the Ricky.
Yeah, we'll see if IG Vitality do want to second pick that Ricky once again, as I imagine that Vici will ban him out if we make it to the second banning phase.
The Ricky? I don't know. They did not do it so far, and they, like in the last 2 games at least, and it worked.
So far with that hero.
Yeah. Vici also banning that Batrider that IG likes to first pick usually.
Yeah, definitely do not want to see another Batrider. It is a little bit refreshing. I imagine that we'll not be seeing a Shadow Demon or a Mirana. Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely not. No, the thing is, either team will probably pick up DK again in the 3rd pick, but they might not. We'll see. So far, no Timber has been banned either. So that's also a hero we have yet to see, but potentially can be picked. And as I said before, that Morphling. I don't know if they will ban it. IG Vitality, that is.
I feel like that Super would want to ban the Morphling, knowing that it's going to be the response most likely to the Luna pickup, and also End played a very good Morphling. Like he managed to stay kind of like toe-to-toe farming wise, and had a lot of like team impact. And of course, once he had that shotgun coming out, it was pretty much over for Vitality to at least keep like one of their heroes on the field. It was just like a choice between who's going to end up dying, the Bad Rider or someone else, right? So.
Yeah, definitely. The Sand King ban coming out from Vici. A hero I don't think they picked up. I'm not sure.
I don't think that I've seen the Sand King all that often.
At least in this best of 5.
Yeah, not in the best of 5, and I don't think I saw a Sand King really coming out during the group phase, maybe for like 1 or 2 of the games. And then, yeah, IG Vitality, they are indeed going to ban out the IO, which I think is a completely fair ban. You definitely do not want to go toe-to-toe with FY's IO, and maybe an IO in general. It just changes the game a little bit too much, I think, for Vitality. They don't want to have to play around that.
I like this Timbersaw pickup because both Slaughter and Rubik are able to pinpoint like a couple of heroes, which will drop an insane amount of HP in a small amount of time, simply because Timber will drop a buy. And he's also good as a counter on lane especially, but also later against DK, which is why IG are probably not going to go for the DK, despite him being an amazing hero to 5-man with a Luna and a Pit Lord and take towers and team fights.
So then, if you can't pick up the Dragon Knight, then who is going to be the mid laner of choice for IG Vitality?
They could go for something like an OD, but maybe they even still go for an LC, despite the hero being kind of weak on that lane. We will see. I'm not sure at all quite yet.
Alright, so we see Super is going to draft themselves a Witch Doctor. Seems to be a favorite for Super, just being able to get that into his drafts. And we've also seen the Witch Doctor being used, as once again we've mentioned before, pretty effectively in trying to counter-initiate with some of those T1 tower dives that Vici seemed to really like, especially in the early game with the help of the Rubik and the Slardar.
There's the Morphling.
There's the Morphling.
I think it should be an OD right about now, but still not certain. Yeah, there we go.
There we are, yeah. So really good prediction from you, Hoa, and not surprising the Outworld Devourer being the best choice in that draft. My only kind of question is, it looks like Super was like...
struggling a bit and countering the Morphling?
I just really feel like why wouldn't you ban the Morphling? Like, you've picked up the Luna.
Well, Morphling takes quite some time to be online, and since they have an Underlord, Luna and a Witch Doctor right now already, maybe want to go for objectives and achieve them before the Morphling is online. And even if Morphling is eventually online with his items, having like a Linken's and an EV and, you know, whatever comes after, OD is actually quite capable of countering him, even though last time it did not quite work out for them.
Yeah, and this time you don't have like that luxury of FY being on the IO to help out the Morphling, which I think it didn't happen the last game, but I think it was in one of the, was it the group stage, or maybe it was like one of the previous games?
It was one of the previous games, yeah. It's actually, it makes very much sense, because that might very well be the thing that they thought was tipping the scales and keeping that Morphling alive for the longest time.
Yeah, absolutely. And
which is also why they banned it first.
Yeah, and so Super is going to be banning out the Puck, which is kind of going to eliminate some of the mid laners coming out for Vici Gaming, and looks like Yang, who is going to be doing the drafting, is going to eliminate the Night Stalker from the hero pool. Now, can you explain maybe just a little bit of the logic behind picking up the Night Stalker?
Well, Night Stalker is a good hero with Luna by itself, simply because of the Night, but it's also just, yeah, you have more vision, you have superior positioning due to the vision. It's just a very well-rounded hero that they could have been picking up. Instead, they probably opt for something like a Clockwork, but they could also go for, I'm not sure, something that works with the Pit Lord.
Well,
okay,
I imagine
interesting. Never mind.
It's going to be maybe
Makes more sense.
Mikasa's hero, because it's going to be probably FY on the Slardar, DDC on the Rubik, or vice versa. The offlaner is going to be Yang on the Timbersaw, potentially. Morphling going to be played by End, and then we have like a mid laner that has to go up against toe-to-toe against an OD.
Yeah, they could go for the Razor again, but I'm not sure if they will. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Razor. Like, what do you think that we might see something unconventional coming out here? Like, would something like a Nyx be potentially a good choice, or?
I don't know if Vici played a mid lane Nyx ever, but if they did, and if they do think it's a decent idea, they might go for it. But I don't know. I don't think it's a valid pick right about now. I still think Razor is probably a better pickup, but even
maybe this is going to be like a pretty decent pick. I just don't feel like our World of Hour, like how does he do against the Queen of Pain? Like just in a vacuum, like let's just say without the rotations coming in, like do you feel that
I think it's quite an even lane actually, but in general, like the team fight is going to be quite different for both teams since, well, Vici kind of has to go in and out and can't go as a death ball as much as I think IG can with this draft.
Alright, so, well, we're going to get started. It's going to be game number 5, ladies and gentlemen, here at the WCA as we get into it. And, of course, we're going to start off with that wonderful pause, as we have seen before, with the
some complaints about lag.
But I think we've certainly both teams have, with how they managed to like pull things back together. I think originally in, and we thought maybe that this was just going to be kind of like a 3-0 series where one of the teams would dominate, and I actually really felt like it was going to be Vici Gaming was going to end up taking the series just on like the previous. IG have certainly us with how they've been playing.
It is very much open, but I do think like Vici comes into this game with a bit of momentum, of course, since they just won 2 games in a row. So the end to use their skill efficiently.
And we both had Vitality and Vici Gaming a lot of, but it kind of talked about this like sort of like momentum. Is there like other factors that losing 2 games really devastating for a team, or?
Well, not necessarily like really good psychologically, but it can be more of an issue than I think. Like communication things, which I do not assume they have.
Yeah, I think communication has been pretty spot on. As you can see, we're taking a look at the beautiful faces of each one of these players, concentrating down, and you can see that the actually the audience filled up quite a bit. And one thing I actually kind of enjoy about the audience here is that like they're quite like quiet, like they're very like respectful with like just not like giving away anything, like the not giving away smokes, not giving away roaches, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it might be a bit different if you compare it to the Western audiences, but yeah, it doesn't happen that much either. Meanwhile, the game actually gets unpaused again. It's starting again after a bit of bugs occurring.
All right, and so we're going to get started with our introductions, but first things, oh, look at this, Yang already getting a little bit of getting harassed a little bit by the. Let's start with Yang. Then on the mid, we have Mikasa going to be playing that Queen of Pain. We have Rubik being played by DDC. We have Slaughter being played by F1. That mantle once again, and we have End playing the Morphling, and then on the Dire, Paparazzi, who will be playing that Luna. We have D, who is being played by Kata. We have the Pit Lord being played by In July, and Dogfight's going to be playing the Earth Spirit. But not least, we have Spirit playing Doctor.
Interesting to see that again as 5 right now, which has not been happening before. Ping's
quite a few ping
of that ward. Probably going to get dewarded in the next. So they are going to get 3 of the bounce on
Kata and F1. Co.Ltd, DC saving his life.
Yeah, making sure he does not drop dead indeed. And also this is something we didn't have in the games before. We actually have a tri-lane against another tri-lane.
Which means that juggling up like on him over and over again.
Well, I think he can eventually stand back and just use his Q to push out the entire lane. Meanwhile, at bot, we see some pulls happening from IG, denying that ranged creep from the Morphling. I think this is a good choice to shut down the Morphling really early, so he actually needs a bit more time to get online, and if that time is needed, then maybe IG can push before he will be able to stop their push efficiently.
Oh, there we go into the Astral Imprisonment. Yeah, looks like Mikasa is going to be just fine. And blinks in, actually. Wants to maybe make a little bit of a play here. Uses that dagger. And Sakata's just getting a bit low, but looks like
really low on his HP there, actually.
Is this going to be one of these things where the Queen of Pain is going to be maxing out the Shadow Strike just to get that like additional harassment on the OD?
Well, the second level, yeah, I very much doubt she's going to get more than that, though. Not blinking in to cancel that salve on the OD for fear of dying. FY smoking though, rotating over. This might be very scary for Sakata.
Over, yeah, and this might very likely be potentially a blink in. There's the Shadow Strike. FY into the slam, and this is going to be a first blood. FY grabbing. It's going to end up being easy boots.
Yeah.
For him, sitting now on about 900 gold. Trees, grabbing a little bit of extra to do all that much. He's sitting at level 4. Does have like his
kill on in July on the top lane.
Yeah, and in July is actually going to be, there it is, a couple right clicks. There is going to be a TP response. So FY might not be in the
super
best
standing there, being ready.
Oh, there it goes. Does he have enough for one hit? No. Oh, super, a little bit. Does he see? Do they see each other?
There is a
They do not. They have no vision whatsoever on FY. They have no idea. There's the Luna. To have to potentially try. Three-person stun, and there's could be huge. July going to have to try to disroot it. There's going to turn, and there's a return kill. But one more Whirling Death would have been enough to probably kill him out. But Slaughter ends up false, and Mikasa's just like trying his best to just make sure that Sakata is just not getting any farm, and it seems to be pretty successful so far. And so what we're going to do is continue with our game as
Dogfight just successfully managing to roll away actually and deny himself to the neutral creeps in a very close situation. We still have hard ping issues, like it's been an issue kind of throughout the LAN, but they're trying to fix it, and somehow I think they are able to at least play for now. The ping dropped up to like 100 for, yeah, a bit.
Alright, and so DDC just going to get that pull with the hard camp coming in. And there we go, going to pull away maybe that rage creep. Nope, not going to happen. Meanwhile, FY going to pick up that bounty rune. Mikasa getting very close to that level 6. And no action rune, I think, for the OG.
Yeah, Mothling was a bit better.
Oh, here we go, Paparazzi.
Actually having the time of his life on that top, just freeze way on the road towards that soul ring.
Yeah, looks like should take, yeah, Yang is doing extremely well so far with those mana boots. It looks like, yeah, Queen of Pain hitting level 6, meanwhile the OD only sitting at level 5. I feel, oh, here we go. Yep, going to get the Astral Imprisonment. She did end up blinking in very aggressively.
Yang starts harassing on that play.
To be able to into the Shadow Strike. Are we going to be able to see the slam? Yes, it is. And I don't know if this Earth is going to be able to do very much as he continues to follow DDC.
I think the quap was a bit of an overkill, but I guess she wanted to make sure that he dies and he dies fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And she seems to be doing quite well, hitting now that level 7. Meanwhile, Sakata's still sitting at that level 5.
Dogfight being on bot lane, they're going on end, but he's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, DDC
Silence
playing an
not enough.
excellent defensive support.
Yeah, it's gonna be... Yang actually will use that gold that he's getting from that top lane, because it is pretty much one of the most important heroes, if not the most important hero in early mid game and
oh, the
late
Timber
mid game
Chain
as well.
actually does not manage to end up hitting at the top. Meanwhile, the mouse he does have all the extra says ready to go in. No ultimate available. The infused drops to be able to deal with some that might be coming in, but I think Paparazzi is just going to be able to survive. No, FY is going to make sure that that does not end up happening. Fairy Fire gets popped into another Lucent Beam, and she survives the assault.
Yeah, Raindrop keeping her alive, making sure she does not die too fast. But
there's just so much more movement speed, and that's going to be Cicada eliminated from the mid.
yeah, and Morphling TPing top. The lane's being rotated. Having Yang stand against the Pit Lord.
Actually, I feel like Queen of Pain is really benefiting from all the additional bounty charges in her. And there it is, rooted down another Lucent Beam.
I think they're going to start trying to push the top tier 1 as well. Vichy, that is.
Mikasa had herself an Arcane Rune to be able to put out a little bit of extra harassment on that OD in the mid. Has to defensively Astral Imprison. Yeah, in July, and they're just like getting a little bit of peck damage, but I don't know if anything's really going to happen here. But you are right, End and the Rubik at the top are going to be able to take out that tier 1. And there it goes. Actually ends up missing the last hit on that tower.
Trying to push the bottom tower. Trying to get even.
This tower uses the slam defensively. Does not end up hitting on anything, but good. 3 to find out. Yeah, they do have a ping. FY, really great game sense, just like pings right away.
No, he's not coming back, so he must be farming that spot. But they will wait for him to return before.
Yeah, they're just going to get the Queen of Pain. They use the scan, knowing that there's no creeping around just behind the. He ends up going back to base. A couple things from the wood. It's like the game of mutual destruction. No one really wants to go in because everyone's going to die.
Here comes. Is there a smoke after this wave dies?
Yeah, they're all sitting at that tier 1. I think their eyes are looking to defang Mikasa in some way. Meanwhile, in the bottom, still using that Chakram, Yang just causing some troubles for that Luna.
FY helping Yang farm the jungle.
Yeah, just like it's no one really wants to dedicate themselves to a team fight at the moment because they know that it opens up a potential for taking one of the towers. But I feel like at this point it has to be
FY
Vici
trying
who
to break a smoke, but does not. Is this smoke going to be successful?
Oh, they're zipping around on Mikasa, but of all the people, is this going to be enough? She does have her blink available. And there she is, into the root, into a silence. Can she survive? There's the stun and goodbye. Yeah. Did she end up dedicating the Eclipse or just a Lucent Beam? No, she dedicated the Eclipse to it, yeah.
Sure. And they will get this tier 1 tower for this fight. However, at the same time, Yang still farming away, as is End. So they might be just fine with this.
I'm just going to throw out a Chakra and have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
And we should actually probably mention that End is going to be going for that Lincoln Sphere and has just been like constantly farming and hasn't really I don't think he's died yet, has he? No,
he's going for the Lincolns. That's kind of weird. It's kind of weird for him to go for a Lincoln since yeah, he will his big problem here is the silence.
Oh, there's into a waveform, but is silent.
Through, so he's gonna be more than fine.
Very well done. Uses up, and that's gonna be 2 kills.
And it was under an Arcane Rune as well, so that ult is going to be up again.
So there's not really an objective for Paparazzi to be able to take. But there's a response from Paparazzi. There's 22 seconds until the Eclipse is available. Uses that Chakram, hits all 3. Gonna slow him down. They want to go for DDC. There's the stun. It ends up missing. Still on the run, using that Chakram to just cause a little bit of chaos in the. Still that the.
We have Morphling and Timber being ahead of everyone else a bit in farm apart from Luna, but Queen also picking up on that. And the rest of the people being. But not by a lot.
So I see that Queen of Pain is going right away for the BKB. Eventually, are we going to be seeing a Aghanim Scepter coming out on her? I feel like
it's really preference. Like there's many things you can build after. You can go for the Orchid, you can go for an Aghanims, you can go for a Yules even because of the silence. But since she's going BKB, she's probably not going to get the Yules. And they will trade that top tier 1 for the tier 1 or mid. It would.
Oh, there's the Pit Lord coming in. They use the Fortify, and Pit Lord brings the entire team. FY gonna get.
What was he doing?
Yeah, he was a little bit out of position there. There's the Death Ward. They dedicate a lot to kill him.
Yeah, but that was still kind of weird. Maybe he thought that they would cancel.
Close to that in July, and Super making their way towards the Radiant Shrine by the Secret Shop, and Queen of Pain. Very close, actually, just used her blink. Okay, they're just gonna probably, are they smoking up here or just gonna run? Okay. Oh, very well done. They're going for the Timber, and he's gonna, but he does end up losing those Bloodstone charges.
Then we see some 1 or 2 more orbs and he could actually ult if he does not get more HP in right about now.
Alright, let's actually take a look at the overall scheme of the game where we see the difference in team net worth, where we see VG just slowly climbing, but they're not making it, the IG are not making it easy for them at all. Meanwhile, the overall difference in XP earned just slowly creeping forward.
The thing is, I feel like IG should be starting more than they are, simply because, yeah, I don't know, unless the OD actually manages to deal with the morphling better than he did last time, they should be doing that. However, there is another pause coming out and another disconnect.
Is this a badly timed one? No, it isn't. Alright, yeah, DDC is perfectly fine, so luckily it's no clutch situation at the moment. And there he is reconnected, so we'll just be right back in a moment. And
yeah, one smoke though on DDC, he might not quite use it right now.
And we also have a smoke coming out on Super on the, where they're all grouped in the mid with
yeah.
Alright, just using that chakram, grabbing that bounty rune, and maybe just making their way. There it is. Alright, so they're going to try looping around maybe into the mid, but at the same time, I mean, Super is in position to use smoke as it looks like.
No. They might very well try to go for Roche, but he is close again to it. Smoking up.
Oh, they see Timber. Yang gonna use the Timber
might be
chain.
in a bit of trouble here. Gets away.
I think he should be alright underneath that tier 2. Especially now with the Rubik in position to be able to do something defensively. Oh, it rolls in. There's the silence into a stun. There is no blink available quite yet.
That's amazing spells to take.
Seems like I feel like the Eclipse is fairly easy to steal off of the Luna. Am I?
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, there's the Lucent Beam again on Yang. Still sitting at 8 Bloodstone charges. Not completely optimal, but not terrible. Meanwhile, though, the tier 2 is down in the top lane, and this Morphling just continues to split push. He is now going to be going for that Ghost Scepter and the Eagle Song.
Moving out due to the rotation by Luna.
Oh no, Yang. He's a little bit far forward, and they're all moving towards him. Does he have a Timber chain over? There comes the cask, moving towards the trees, into continue moving. There's the stun, but 3 men out of FY, and there's the Timber chain. Dogfight gonna have to pop it.
But Injuly using his ult, trying to get out of the fight.
Just have to get yourself away. He just knows he has to disengage, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. And there's, I think, the first successful use of the
Yang farming the Ancients with Timbersaur's spells. Something that was not possible before.
Yes. Alright, so there comes FY, just zipping in. Maybe they see this auto that does have the blink field. There's the spike. But I think it's only just buying him a little bit of time.
Using his ult there.
Using his...
Yeah, that was an interesting usage, definitely. Maybe he thought the OD had a blink,
Oh, potentially, yeah.
but like even then it's, I don't know. That was a very weird thing to do.
Alright, so DDC still has that Lucent Beam. And they're all mid doing... Know that not in July, canceling his animation. This is like another thing about the Timber Saw is that he kind of like push from a distance, so he doesn't have to like worry too much about like not overcommitting to just like pushing a creep wave or farming.
Yeah, definitely. I think this game might very well change in its pace as soon as we see that EB being picked up by the Morphling, which is going to be in 1,500 gold. Some smoke coming out by IG here.
Oh, and looks like they're going to come mid. There's the shock room though. Herself.
The wave.
I felt like they, because herself, like from the smoke, they know that there's like a smoke active somewhere on the map, and so they both are going to pull back.
Yeah, but they usually would have known anyway, simply because 5 people disappeared. It's more like confirmation, I suppose, if they didn't see her run into the lane, but instead pop out of nothingness. F is trying to secure a kill for End, but however,
in July, going to come in. There's a shock room, going to push himself up with that Yule Scepter. He's continued to be stunned. The Eclipse comes out, and Timber Saw
dead for 22 seconds.
And now down to 6 Bloodstone charges.
Who might fall?
But while that's happening, Mikasa and FY are pushing the tier 2. And oh, there comes the Outworld ult, and he will use it. All 5 are there to defend the objective.
Having a bit too much company. TP's out to his top shrine.
So, out of interest, when it comes to like the Bloodstone thing, which is something that I've never been quite confident on, what is it like? At what point is the Bloodstone